Welcome, everybody, back to Cartoon Conversations, where you take a grand trip onto YouTube to figure out all the funny stuff that you never knew about in Justice League Unlimited.
Yay!
With your hosts, Elliot Catch and Jordan Stein. We're not going anywhere, unfortunately, so you're going to stick with us until we finally actually make this into a thing.
Yeah, we will totally do that.
Yeah. Until one of us actually learns how to animate and or create actual video content. Whenever that happens.
Stay tuned for our next project. In, the year 2018.
When we can have chips with any kind of information we want implanted into our brains.
Yes. So.
Don't worry, it's legit a thing, it'll happen, yada yada yada.
Cool.
Yada yada.
So, Elliot, why don't you do our big question of the day?
Me? Oh, God, what an honor to do such a thing. Well, Jordan, I would have to say that the big question came to me in a dream. And it was a daydream called rational thinking. I do believe this episode had a lot of character growth, and my question was, how well was the character growth received through the story in this episode? What did it do right? And what can we learn from it? Is my question.
Right.
To you, Jordan Stein.
Yeah, so I've been on record as a big fan of the Shayera storyline. In fact, Wake the Dead is my #1 episode. Sorry, it was my #1 episode for a while, and now it's my #2.
Uh-huh.
And that was a very Shayera character growth-centric episode, so...
Oh, yes.
I don't think this is going to reach that high. But this has many of the same characteristics of Wake the Dead. And we'll see where I put it. It could really end up in a lot of places. I'm gonna be interested to find out.
I definitely feel like this episode, in any episode that has Shayera in it is really a keeper, because it's always she's always what is it called? She's always growth-oriented. She always has a story revolved around her, and she always has, she always makes the plot move forward.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic.
She's a very well-written character. I feel like this show really does justice, pardon the pun, to
I get it.
Her character development, and each time we see her, the consequences of that episode follow her. Which is interesting. She's the Wonder Woman of this season. And that
you'd say that Wonder Woman was the last one. Wonder Woman was really like that leading lady.
And now I thought it was going to be Green Lantern. I kind of remembered it being Green Lantern, but that was probably my young boy mind. Well,
it did look like it. He was one of the first people that we saw. He did have quite a bit of character going around.
He does.
Yeah. Well, not even just that. It was he was one of the people that had whenever there was another character that came in, most of the time he was involved with them. He had that whole arc where he learned more about his powers and went off into space.
Yeah. Which
was pretty dang neato, if I do say so myself.
Yeah.
Mag freaking neato.
Yeah, a little bit. So
a little bit.
I'm going to start the episode breakdown.
You go do that. You go, girl.
So we open inside the Watchtower. Green Lantern is grabbed and pulled into a closet. He almost attacks his would-be kidnapper before he finds out it's just Vixen.
Yeah, he actually has his Green Lantern shot, his ring pointed right at her face, and is like, I'm going to blast whoever the hell I am looking at right now. And it just so happens to be...
X just happened.
Yeah, what?
I said, especially since Task Force X just happened.
Yeah, right? So,
he's probably a bit on his guard, considering last time, they didn't pay attention to people,
Tensions are as high as freaking possible.
Yeah, so... That's a thing.
And I love Vixen's face. She's just staring at him, just like, hi! How's it going?
She faces supervillains tougher than, Jon Stewart.
Right.
Regularity. So, here's the thing.
Tougher than her doting boyfriend right now.
I think she could probably survive the initial volley from Green Lantern
Right.
before he realized that he didn't need to attack her. So, if he's going to almost attack someone, it's probably good it's one of the more powerful members of the League.
Right. It's probably good that it's just Vixen.
Yeah.
Or not that just Vixen. What's the term? It's good that it's at least Vixen.
Yeah, I know what you were saying, that it's someone who can handle herself.
Yeah, someone that can fucking take it.
Yeah.
As we see in this episode, she fucking throws her weight around. Literally, there's an elephant pun in there somewhere.
She's one... I wouldn't go quite so far as to say she's a heavy hitter of the League. Like, you know, she's not a Superman or a Green Lantern or a Martian Manhunter. But
that's not fair.
But she is...
She's
one of them. I'd say she's in the one tier below.
Right, yeah. No, she's in that ring. She's second tier.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I'd say she's tier 1 because those guys you just talked about are tier 0.
Yeah.
They are the untouchables.
Yeah, they're pretty untouchable. I would put her... Would you put her online with maybe like a Static Shock?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Maybe Static Shock is... If this was like a Pokemon thing, Static Shock would be borderline.
Yeah.
But same with her. She's 2 to 1. She's borderline going into OU, while the other ones are an Uber. You can't play with them. Yeah. They're unfair.
So, yeah. Okay. So, well, it turns out she's kidnapping him because she misses him. They set up a date.
I did that once. I got a restraining order.
Yeah, it doesn't work out so well in real life. But thankfully, they're in a somewhat awkwardly loving relationship. Because John is starting to pull back. And she is trying to keep him in the relationship. They set up a date. John wants to just go to the Chinese place near his house.
Yes.
But Vixen knows this tiny little place in Beijing.
Yeah, I know. It's really nice off the side. Just got to go take a trip to freaking Beijing.
Well, they're in space. I mean, Beijing is no farther than... I don't know where Jon Stewart lives, actually. It's embarrassing. I'm sorry, I'm having a brain fart. Where John lives. So...
You think maybe Brooklyn or something?
Well...
Somewhere around there.
Central City, because that's...
Over the rainbow.
No, that's the Flash, Star City, I mean to say. Because that's where Hal Jordan's from. So, I don't know.
One of those.
Sorry, actual better DC fans than me. You are a better DC fan than me. So, they set up... so yes. Jon Stewart is not amused by this. He is at work. He is work John, and he does not like his control being interrupted.
Honey, there's no time for sex right now. I can't indulge in our relationship. I'm so busy. Can't you see?
Yes, that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah.
So she flirts outrageously, but...
Oh my god. Fight. In this scene, we see more of Vixen, more of like Vixen's ridiculously sexual shots than we ever see her.
There's a lot of sex in this episode.
Oh my god. Well, the thing is, there's a lot of sex in this episode because of this one intro where we see every curve of Vixen, we see every outline of her breasts, but the thing is, it's not bad. This is one of the things that I would like to bring up as we go throughout the episode, maybe not just like, the whole, what do you call it, the big question, but like, in this scene, what do we see of Vixen? We see this woman, just trying as hard as she can to seduce her man. They're already in a relationship, and he's just so uninterested. But that's the thing. What are we doing? We're having Vixen, or we're having Jon Stewart play off of Vixen. We're showing the headspace that he's in. Like, Shire coming back is really fucking with his head. And we can see that very clearly by what Vixen is doing. So she may be doing something that's a little bit more, like risky for a kid's show, a bit more out there for that kind of thing. But it's all because of the fact that she's supposed to be doing that so we can make Jon Stewart look better.
I also think it's nice to see a strong woman who takes a lead in a relationship. and she isn't looked down on for that. She's actually applauded for that. She's the one who's laudable there, and John is in the wrong.
Yeah.
As opposed to normally when you're in this situation, it's like strong woman, bad. Men don't like that. Especially in shows for young boys.
Yes.
You see a lot of that. So it's kind of nice to see them go a different route there.
Woman, bad.
We have another episode actually written by Dwayne McDuffie here, so that's kind of cool.
Yes.
And
more Dwayne McDuffie.
Because in the monitor room, Martian Manhunter is talking with an alien in a distress call.
Yes.
It turns out they accidentally found nth metal and are in a little bit of a snafu.
Yeah, just, whatever. Nth metal. It's fine. Shit happens. Whatever.
And by it's fine, whatever, you mean they're all gonna die.
Oh, yeah. Nth metal, by the way, is the metal that Sha'ira's mace is made of.
Yep. So
Nth metal has the property, although we did learn a bit more about during, Waking the Dead? Wake the Dead? Yeah. It has the ability to tear apart magic, pretty much. So that shit is real OP.
Yeah. Well, in the right circumstance.
Oh, yeah.
It's
probably one of the only materials in the entire DC universe that does something like that.
Yeah. It's a real trump card in a lot of situations. Pardon the Trump reference. So,
well,
yeah, he kind of made
fear of the name is fear of the thing itself.
Nice Harry Potter references. We're just rattling off the references here. So Hawkgirl wants to go rescue them because she's the league expert on nth metal.
Oh yeah. Well, she's not just the league expert, but the league only person that knows anything about it.
Generally a requirement for an expert. So, Martian Manhunter insists that she takes a team. And she doesn't want a team, but Martian Manhunter does not take this agreement.
Oh my god, Martian Manhunter's so on point in this episode. He is taking no sass from anyone. Oh my god. If his words were fists, he would slug the shit out of everyone, and there would be no survivors.
Yeah, so Martian Manhunter is a great leader of the team. Because
oh my god.
She doesn't want to admit it, but she actually needs some companionship.
Oh yeah.
She needs to lead that team for her own good.
And it was really good. Like he talks about her needing more trust in the team and her needing more experience regards to that. When what is it? He said he's going to build up the team for her and she needs to work like that. It's really it kind of foreshadows a bit in the episode, showing what she lacks and showing what was wrong with her throughout the whole thing. How she needs to work more as a team instead of working more as a strong fighter, because she's plenty strong, but she's right now, she doesn't have as much support because she pushes everyone away.
Yeah, because she pushes. But I also like to point out how the episode makes it very clear she is a fantastic team leader.
Yeah,
like her strategies are almost Batman level, and they've actually referenced her as an intellectual equal of Batman earlier in Wake the Dead.
Right. When she was playing chess.
Yeah, when she's playing chess with Aquaman in the board that made no sense.
Yeah. They never seem to get chess right, but they always have people playing with it.
That's a smart person thing to do.
Yeah.
I really think that they just never learned how to play chess, like any of them. But they're like, that's a thing smart people do, right?
You know what I just like? They do really just use chess to show a calmer or smarter character.
Yeah.
Because they had chess for the Vigilante and the Shining Knight, and then they had chess for the characters that were higher powered. But then, who is playing another game? Remember? You had the Flash and the Elastic Man playing what? Battle bots? Was it? Excuse me?
Brawling bots, yeah.
Brawling bots, right.
And the green one had longer arms.
Yeah, it's cheating.
Yes.
I wanted the green one. Oh my god. Yeah, it's pretty much exactly what was going on in the director's minds. Chess is a smart thing people do. I really just want, like, eventually they should have had someone's just playing like tic-tac-toe with Superman.
Yeah.
He's just like, I don't know how to play chess. I'm not really good at it.
Captain Marvel goes, I'm more of a checkers guy myself.
Oh yeah, he does.
Which is that time they bring in chess. It's a nice contrast between them, the adults, and Captain Marvel, who's still a kid.
Right. It
Although
very
Captain
much.
Marvel's-
It shows. Yeah, their mindsets.
Although Captain Marvel would probably actually be really good at chess because he's got the wisdom of Solomon.
Hey,
He
got
needs to let
wisdom.
Solomon play the game for him.
Listen. Remember they made this reference in Young Justice that he has the wisdom of Solomon, but that doesn't make him a smart person.
Yeah, no, that's right.
He has wisdom, but
I
he
always
doesn't
thought
have. I wouldn't say he's got tactics.
I always thought that he
Regardless of how well that Captain Marvel can play chess. Onwards with the story.
Okay, yes. But at some point we should look into Captain Marvel's plan, because from reading his origin story in the DC universe, I've got the graphic novel. I think there's more to the wisdom of Solomon. But
Right.
continuing on.
Yes.
So Jon Stewart volunteers to go with Vixen, but Martian Manhunter wants Hawkgirl to be the undisputed leader.
Well,
So
doesn't
instead-
she? No. First, he says that he wants to go, right?
Yeah.
And then Vixen says that she wants to go too. After Jon Stewart gets the no, he gets shot down.
Yeah, Jon Stewart gets shot down, and then Vixen says, "I'll go."
Yeah,
And
and
Martian Manhunter's like, "That's a good idea."
oh my God, Martian Manhunter's like, yeah, no, sure, whatever.
And
then
Green
they go
Lantern
off.
is like, "Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh fuck!"
Yup. Because currently he's got the woman he's dating and his ex off in a spaceship in, like halfway across the universe somewhere.
Which I don't really get why he's so scared.
He's
Like, has he never had exes who know each other? Like,
maybe.
you
Who
know,
knows?
That seems like a pretty normal thing to happen to a person.
I don't know. I mean, like, this is a thing that, once again, this is for children. So, having, something so bluntly shown to them, we don't really know about relationships besides what we see on the screen. So, we can clearly see that previously, as Jon Stewart was just, completely shutting down the sexy body right there,
Yeah.
he is confused, way over confused about what's going on with Shayera, and especially what's going on with Vixen. So the fact that both of them have a chance to do whatever they want behind his back, that's a little weird. He doesn't like that.
Yeah, no, maybe you're right. It's more about his mental state than the fact that having your girlfriend or
Exes.
your ex is a pretty normal thing. So,
Yeah.
So Vixen gets away, and then Martian Manhunter says that's a good idea. So then Jon Stewart berates Martian Manhunter for doing that, who points out that his love life is in fact not that important to rescue missions.
Oh my God. I think Jon Stewart needed to go take a nice long bath because he just got burned so hard.
Yeah.
Please apply cold water to the burn. Oh my God. Martian Manhunter just looks at him and is like, I couldn't give any less of a shit about your love life.
Yeah,
God.
I've got too much shit to deal with.
Oh my God, it was so savage.
So, and then we get our big reveal.
Yes.
That the alien distress call was actually Thanagarians setting a trap.
Bum,
Dun,
bum,
dun,
bum.
I like how we both went to that.
I was actually going to do it a little bit ahead of time because I thought that might happen, but I was like, fuck it.
So, then we hit our credits.
Yes.
We come
Those-
out of our credits
Fantastic.
as a javelin flies through off-brand warp space.
Off-brand warp space.
Yep.
It costs less than regular warp space.
I think they call it hyperspace.
Hyperspace.
You know, it's just knockoff warp drive.
Hyper strolling through the cosmos.
Think Star Trek, basically.
Yeah.
Or light speed.
Yeah, I got you.
Star Wars. Doesn't matter. So, continuing on.
The third party member we are introduced to right now is actually the Vigilante.
Which is
As I talked about before.
Vigilante.
Huh?
I said, which is nice. I always like Vigilante.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Unfortunately, no Shining Knight bromance this episode.
Oh, of course. He actually has to interact with women instead.
Yeah. Yeah,
Which,
that's not his forte.
Oh, yeah. Which, we learned a lot more about Vigilante in this episode than we actually... Well, I mean, because I don't think he actually ever even really talked much of anything in the other ones.
Except Task Force X, I think.
Task Force S, he kind of grunted and said a few lines about whatever. But in this episode, he has full-on conversations with other characters. And as we can see, he's very much like an old-timey cowboy.
Yeah,
talks in that sense, has the same kind of emotional outlook towards, fights, gunfights, towards women, towards driving.
Yeah.
He is a man from that era. Yeah. And he plays it hard.
Yeah. I don't really know, because they never mention him, traveling in time, and he has, energy bullets. So, he seems more futuristic cowboy than past cowboy, but...
Futuristic cowboy, baby.
But I've never read...
That was awful.
I've never read anything that has him traveling through time, so I don't know how he got into modern times for Justice League Unlimited, but I very much enjoy it.
Right.
So, continuing on, the Javelin flies through space as Hawkgirl coaches Vigilante on flying the Javelin. Vigilante gives sass, and Hawkgirl just shuts him down.
Yeah.
Vixen, however, has some backseat tutoring to do. Because she says, men have fragile egos. To get what you want, you need to know how to talk to them.
I love that.
Says, I don't do that. And Vixen replies, maybe you should learn. Which is just an interesting insight into both of them.
Right.
That and I think I like Hawkgirl's idea there much more. Okay, so Vixen might be getting stuff done short term with her ideas. And it kind of fits with what she did earlier, where she was contorting her body at weird angles to attract John. But I think in the
sure, now I can tell you've never tried to be sexy for someone else. You gotta just full on break your back. You just gotta do starting cartwheels and stuff. That's really how you get those mates.
Yes. So, but I think Hawkgirl's method is much more... I'm gonna go feminist. Because she's not changing herself. She is who she is. She's a strong leader. And that's all she needs to be.
Well, I mean, Vixen, the deal with Vixen, in my opinion, is it's not that she's being sexualized without a purpose.
No,
she's definitely very sexy, but it's because she's got that whole, She's very wild, she's very with nature, she's very au naturel, she has the skin-tight jumpsuit, which is more of the era that she was created in, the disco go-go shit.
Yeah.
Which is why that's what she has. But she owns it, this is her. This is who she is. She's totally a rad killer, and she's in with her sexuality. And I love that. That's awesome. Every character in this episode is fantastic.
At best, she's sex-positive feminism, and Hawkgirl is more early wave feminism. In that, it's all about self-reliance. And,
right.
Getting the rights that men have, and standing up for yourself, and being strong.
Right.
So, I've always preferred the Hawkgirl argument. I know many women prefer the Vixen, and it's not my place to tell them they're wrong. But
Jordan, you have a YouTube channel.
What?
You have a YouTube channel, so clearly it is.
No.
Your opinion is better than theirs. It weighs a little more.
Well, as a man, I try not to take sides in feminist disputes.
I still don't understand that, but regardless.
It's not my place to decide.
Why not? It's human. It's a human thing. It's not just a gender thing. It's a human thing of rationalizing what we see in the world and what equality is. We clearly at an early point in time did not decide that these two sexes deserve the same amount of equality, and now we're fighting to bring them both together. And it's not like you can say, the men have to just sit on the sideline and agree with it. in a certain shape or form, but, like, we can fight for it and have our own opinions about it because we know that, most of us believe that it's a right thing to do. And we want to fight for it, and we want us to be equality. We want us to be equality. Jesus Christ, I went to college. We want us to be equal, and we want all genders to be, the same. So that's why men should be able to fight for feminism in such a strong sense.
I think we should be able to fight for it. I just don't think we should be leading the fight. I think that
I don't know.
It would be
well, that makes sense. I understand that. That was very much like what Gandhi was referring to with having British support when he was trying to gain more independence in India. Did you ever hear about that?
Yeah, he met with the British and he argued and negotiated with them in good faith.
Yeah. But there were a few people, there were a few British actually that were trying to help him out, and he shunned a few of them. He didn't shun, he just said that, he would rather it be independence won through India. This is totally off track. We're talking about Justice League Unlimited. Oh my god.
Justice League Unlimited, I'm not going to pretend like they do a good job spotlighting both of these feminist theories, but I think they are both there if you want to do a kinder interpretation of Vixen.
Right.
That the kindest thing I can say, which there are many, many kind things to say about Vixen because she's a good character who's well developed.
Right.
But in this scene, I think the kindest thing you can say is that she is subverting male gaze. Which is, I guess, the Kim Kardashian feminism. I would call that.
I don't really get into anything about Kim Kardashian, so I wouldn't know what that is.
There's some talk about in feminist circles about whether or not Kim Kardashian could be considered feminist because she posted that sex video and whatnot, but some say that's subverting male gaze and exploiting it, and so that's actually the highlight of feminism is that she's exposing the baseness of misogyny, but I don't know.
I wouldn't say that at all, but whichever.
That would not be my opinion. But it's not my place to decide what feminism is. It's my place to support equality between the genders. So
you and me is going to have a long conversation about that, but regardless.
At one point, this is just going to turn into a feminism debate with Justice League Unlimited. So let's
just in the background.
They land on the planet.
Cartoon conversations that are actually only about feminism.
Yes.
Alright, so we land on the planet being led by a space cowboy voiced by Nathan Fillion, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, Vigilante is voiced by Nathan Fillion, which is awesome because he is most famous for playing a space cowboy. Mm-hmm. And now he's playing another space cowboy. Mm-hmm. Which is kind of awesome. So, everyone should watch Firefly. Vixen uses her lizard vision to find no mining ship, which I thought was a really cool use of her powers. And really smart by her.
I love the fact that they don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, they don't say, oh, use your power to do that. They say, oh, use your, I'm gonna use my power to do this. She just does it. And the style in which they show it, and the animal being, she taps her necklace, the animal wrapping around her, like the spirit of it, and her eyes glowing, and showing her getting into it.
Yeah.
Explains everything you need to know about her powers.
It's fantastic.
It's such a great little bit of conveyance, yeah.
And that's where this show really shines, when it does that, when it shows it and it doesn't tell. And also, it presumes competence of our heroes. Oftentimes you have your heroes who are bumbling, and that's supposed to make them likable. Instead of actually giving them character traits, you make them stumble. Especially with female characters, they do that. And it's nice to see competence that's presumed. I really like that. So, they can't. She doesn't see a mining ship, though. Hawkgirl uses the scanners and finds no nth metal. Something is very, very wrong.
Something is wrong.
Vidge gets his guns ready.
Vidge? Are you on like a pet name basis with him?
Yes, we're besties. So his guns actually have red lights in place of bullets, which solves that question we were asking in in the earlier episode where there's the spiders invading from space, where are we? The Dark Heart. About why his gun, which is a 6-shooter, could destroy spiders that M16s couldn't.
Exactly, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So, now we solved that problem, that he has space bullets.
Space bullets!
So, that was kind of a cool little moment. I'm glad they included that. So, they exit the ship and see footprints. They follow them into the mine, but in fact, Shayera quickly notices that the mine is just a hologram. As she realizes this, shots are fired from the deep side of the tunnel. And
well, hold on. I actually do kind of want to bring up how she realizes it.
Yeah.
We notice as she moves, the shadows of everything move with her, except for the shadows of the support beams going in the cave. And then she brings her mace towards it to try and, the light on her nth metal mace to manipulate the shadow, but it doesn't move. And then she realizes it's a hologram. She doesn't talk about it either, but you see it. You see it, and I love that.
And I love how competence is presumed.
Yeah.
That all these heroes, that they notice these small things, that what makes them a hero. And once again, we're hitting the hammer of Hawkgirl being really smart. And she's proving it. We're not just being told that she's smart, we're seeing it. And I love that.
Right.
I love it when they use the animation to show us things instead of trying to just tell us things and have us assume it because we're told them. So, they retreat from the mine with Hawkgirl's mace acting really like a lightsaber in deflecting the bullets. It's pretty cool. It's a nice callback to Star Wars. So.
Right.
It's pretty cool. So.
I just love the fact that, immediately the action starts, and they bolt out of the fucking thing. They get out of the cave immediately, and they start raining more bullets down. Vigilante gets his guns up real quick. He's trained and ready, and each one of them gets into their position. They try to go right back to the javelin, and, clearly that doesn't work out so well.
Yeah, they blow up the javelin.
Yeah.
So,
javelin goes boom.
Batman's money.
What?
I said bye-bye Batman's money.
Oh, yeah. Bye-bye. Bye-bye Wayne Tech.
Yeah. So yes, after they find out it's a hologram and have their realization rewarded with lasers, which, by the way, worst participation trophy ever.
Rewarded with lasers.
Yes. So, the javelin is then destroyed. They run into the forest. They all split up. Hawkgirl flies Vigilante away, and Vixen just friggin' leaps on top of a mountain like she's Superman.
Oh my god! She invokes the most doped up cheetah I've ever seen in her life.
She literally jumps to the top of a mountain.
Oh my god!
There's some Superman stuff there. It's just really cool. So, that was awesome. And they're fired upon. They hide behind a rock for cover. And then that's when our villains reveal themselves. Parandul yells at Hawkgirl and tells her that Thanagar was destroyed because of her. That back in Starcrossed, there was basically they wanted to destroy Earth to create a superhighway that would allow them to destroy their enemy. But because the superhighway wasn't created, they were destroyed instead.
Yep. In all honesty, Earth really fucked up there. They really should have just let them, blow them up, create the superhighway, and let the Thanagarians, go and destroy half the other universe. Seriously, come on, guys, what's wrong?
So, Earth was totally not cool.
Totally not cool, man.
So,
Yo, not cool, Earth. Come on.
They also reveal that... we see the remnants. And I'm going to say this, Parandul's not leading the best and brightest of Thanagar. So, she offers a deal that... So here's the deal. If Hawkgirl gives herself up, she'll let the other two live.
Yeah,
And
that was another thing.
and Vixen,
yeah,
just take time to take pot shots at Hawkgirl. Just like, that's a thing that they do. It's like, she's standing right there.
What do you mean?
She's like, ain't these your people?
Oh,
and
yeah.
Like...
That was another thing that I loved.
When he, and I'm like, dude,
we see Vigilante more and more and more act like such an ignorant little cowboy that he is. He's like your people. He says bird folk all the time. Like, I swear to God, if they were black, he would just be spouting so much racist crap.
Yeah, he's kind of Trump level racist.
Yeah. Or if they were Asian, he'd be calling them yellow or something.
Yeah. So that's not good.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's another thing that they're playing off in the fact that he's being such a jerk right now, and he's being a jerk to Bird Girl. I was about to call her Bird Girl. Jesus Christ, where am I right now? To Hawkgirl. I've been watching Rick and Morty, where Bird Person is such a funny character. You got to watch Rick and Morty. I don't know why you haven't.
Rick and Morty is funny.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's so funny. Where Hawkgirl is trying to be the leader here. And Vigilante's giving her such a hard time, but the thing is, he's giving her a hard time because Hawkgirl is assuming the position of like a general working with soldiers instead of a team leader working with, supporting teammates, trying to lead them on towards victory, trying to work together to form, like a better, stronger working force. Instead, she's, working them around like they're chess pieces, saying, you do this, you do that.
Yeah.
That he's giving her a hard time, playing off how she needs to learn how to work with them.
I would say that's part of it. I think also that he has some anger about being tortured during the Thanagarian invasion.
Oh yeah, he talks about that too.
Yeah. And he's taking it out on her, and Vixen's pretty annoyed about it too, and they're both just taking pot shots, like, right to her face. It's sort of weird.
Yeah.
But, continuing on. But when push comes to shove, they don't want her to give herself up. And there you go. We also get the story of Thanagar's destruction, and we find out that the leader bravely destroyed the Gordanian flagship before dying, and Hawkgirl is she's just destroyed by this.
Yeah. Oh, man. One of the things that I love...
The leader who they extol, it was also her fiancé.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a double whammy. Not only is she losing the war of her life, but the love of a period of her life.
Yep.
She's also losing her planet and these people who she still does love and who she feels like she betrayed. Yeah. So...
This is another thing, though. We see more and more about, this is the ragtag group of adventurers that want, Hawkgirl on a pike.
Yeah.
But we really, truly understand that this is like just a random group of people out for revenge.
Yeah.
We notice every single one of them looks a little bit different. I mean, the ones on the left are generally like... They're a little bit different. One's got a beard, the other one's got, I don't know, he's wearing pants or something. Fuck it. But the other ones, each one of them has a little bit of a difference to them. There's a bigger one who kind of looks like that guy from Thor, the big dwarf-looking dude.
Yeah, no, I know.
The one in the mech suit, who I think is actually a Warhammer 40K reference, where whenever they take one of their, honored soldiers who has, who's been felled in battle, they put him in one of these giant mechs so he can go off and fight again.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know that show.
It's a game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
no worries.
So, sorry, where are we? So they take pot shots at Hawkgirl, and she's standing right there. They tell the story of Hotalek, who bravely died in the final battle, destroying the Gordanian flagship. Hawkgirl openly cries at this.
Yep.
The Thans...
Vixen looks to her and says, "You still have feelings for them."
Yeah.
Yeah, and she responds, "I have a lot of feelings for a lot of people."
Yeah.
Or something along those lines.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Basically, she says, I betrayed everyone. I
Yeah.
didn't betray Earth. I
really felt like she's so justified though in feeling this kind of thing,
No, she
and
is.
understanding what was going on, with her people. This is still her people. No matter what they've done, this is still, these are the only other people in the universe that are quite like her.
Yeah. There's something about being with your own species that means a lot. Look how people still get together with their tribes or their faith groups.
Yeah.
And imagine that compared to species.
Right.
It must be 100 times greater to desire to be with your species.
Of course.
You must feel that every day. So...
Yeah, like imagine going off into a foreign land. Like they talk about, I'm reading a comic of this woman who's teaching in elementary school. She's teaching English in Japan.
Yeah.
And when she meets another American, it's like fireworks go off. It's like, holy shit, there's another one. It doesn't even matter what kind of connection they have, she comes from the same place as her. So they immediately hit it off.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. You feel it no matter what.
No, you're right. So they fight briefly, but thankfully our heroes flee. The Thans then discuss about going back to Thanagar to join the Resistance, which is a kind of cool little beat there that they threw out, because now we know not all the Thanagarians are dead.
Yes.
And it brings up just the awesome idea of the politics of alien occupation. I wonder what a Gordanian occupation of Thanagar is like. Wish we could have seen an episode of that. Would have been cool.
I think we might get a little bit more from what had happened in like the special when Hawkgirl and everything happened, when all that went to shit.
Yeah. No, I'm just
thinking of like an unjust ruler.
Like. Are we talking about extermination, concentration camps, ghettos? I don't know what it's like.
Well, it's not really something I'm generally too intrigued to go and find out about, but
I think it'd be a very interesting episode to see the Justice League help Thanagar.
More power to you. So, that would have been cool, definitely, to have them help Thanagar. But just like, I don't know, maybe to have such in-depth analysis about the ruins of their planet and their people. Maybe not,
I think just like the background designs of what a Thanagarian city looks like would be so awesome. Just like,
Under
how
siege?
Would you design a city if everyone could fly? Like, how you would design is totally different. You wouldn't need any elevators. I
feel like you'd still have elevators, because you still need to lift shit. You still got...
they'd be service elevators. They wouldn't be
service elevators.
Elevator buildings. Buildings would probably be taller on average, but they wouldn't have, like, skyscrapers, because you don't want to make a building higher than you can fly to the top of. So, and building values would be different too, because you probably don't want to be at the top of a building because it's tiring to get up there.
Oh my God.
You don't want to be at the bottom of a building because the view isn't good. So, there'd be you could do some really interesting city designs on Thanagar.
With people that can fly.
Yeah. I think it'd be so interesting to try and see somebody design it. So
all right, you go off and go and design that, and I'll keep working on this episode.
Yes. So, Vigilante, Vixen, and Hawkgirl discuss their next move. Hawkgirl makes a very good plan, but Vigilante's blood is up, and he, like the old West hero he is, wants to charge the enemy.
Wait, what was her plan? Or wasn't her plan to give herself up?
They were going to split up, find the enemy ship, and then call for help, and then lie low until help arrives. It was a good plan.
Right.
It maximizes their chances of survival. So, but it's vetoed by overwhelming consent. It's like you said, they're running a militia. They're not running an army.
Right.
So, they stick together. There's a bit of a power struggle. Nasty things are said, especially by Vigilante.
Mean words are tossed about.
So, and because they won't follow her directives, Hawkgirl decides to turn herself in. And this brings them around, because as much as they have this unresolved anger towards Hawkgirl,
right,
in the end, they admire her heroism. And they don't want to see her die.
Well, not even that. It's just that because they are a team. You know? They are the Justice League, and they don't have to like her. It's just the fact that she's a part of their team, so they protect her anyway. It's unconditional love, in a way. Or unconditional appreciation.
Yeah, there's something special about being on a team that brings out the best in people.
Yep.
So,
go team. Secret team.
Then they're attacked by two Thanagarian red shirts. Foot soldiers. So, they're basically just red shirts. So, they attack them. They're starting to team up on Vixen. She's doing her lightsaber mace thing. But then Vixen uses the power of the elephant to just crush them.
Oh my god, I love that. Hey, remember that pushing her weight around joke I made before? Oh my god, it was like I was setting up for this. Oh man, I'm so funny, Jesus Christ.
So,
I'm sorry.
Awesome. You see the indents in the machine as the elephant weight bears down on him. It's
yeah. So you can clearly tell it's not just the fact that she's really strong. It's that she's applied the weight of an elephant right now. She is holding down both of them, and that is super cool.
Yeah. So it's a really cool use of her powers. Great job by the animated staff to really sell her powers.
Yeah.
So. Unfortunately, so she's buying them time to leave. Hawkgirl takes Vigilante out of the way, and because he's injured. And then they turn the tables on Vixen. They go to kill her, but she offers them Hawkgirl.
Yeah.
This episode's a little schizophrenic. Vigilante and Vixen hate her, and then they defend her, and then they hate her again, and they defend her.
Well, the thing is, like, she immediately offers her Hawkgirl. Just not, like, on the drop of a freaking dime, offers her Hawkgirl. Like, she's captured, and that's the first thing she goes to. So you know there's some bad blood between the two, right? You know, well, that's what they're alluding to, is the fact that, you know, all that stuff before, and, like, why was she doing it? Why did she talk about all that crap? And it's like, why? Because we're after the same man. So, like, they're legit. They're legit with this.
I don't know. The episode kind of hints that, like, she's half serious.
No way.
The episode, like, even though, like, it's reversed and we find out this is part of a plan by her, I still think the episode is hinting that that was a possibility.
I don't think so.
That wasn't such a ridiculous theory.
I don't think so. I feel like it was really just to show that she was in the situation. She was trying to save her life, definitely. But it was more of, you know, this was what she was going to do to infiltrate them. Yeah. I don't think she was half serious in ever trying to give Hawkgirl up. That's not what a hero does.
I think the episode's implying that she was considering.
I don't know. I would disagree completely in that fact.
She considered it even if she never would have done it.
Like considering bringing real, like a...
But it wasn't justification for doing what she did. She would never do that action because it's wrong.
I don't know. I don't feel like that's something that would even cross her mind.
Well, I think she is above it. And I thought that was bad writing, but hopefully...
I don't think that's bad writing. I think it was just trying to show that she didn't like her. That was what it was alluding to. It was trying to say, you know, like, she actually didn't like her. She was going to give her up because Vixen hated Hawkgirl. But in reality, none of that really mattered. She didn't hate Hawkgirl. It was just she was using that to infiltrate.
Yeah. So she gets them to take them to her ship by faking an injury. And
Yep.
then she kicks the guy who's helping her.
Yep.
Our hero.
Well, oh, come on.
Okay, the
He-
Thanagarians were very
He
good
was
captors.
he was begrudgingly helping her. He was only helping her so they could kill Hawkgirl.
Not killing her was actually a pretty good mercy, considering she nearly killed them. But, whatever. I thought it was reasonable. Good guys use plans all the time. So,
Yes, they do. Hey,
She goes
at least she gave him that little thing that he was going to use to.
yeah, that was a nice little sass there. I liked it. Where she gives him the little anesthetic.
Yeah.
Wake up because he's going to have a headache.
This'll help for the pain.
Yeah. So she goes to the flagship to execute Hawkgirl's plan and call for help.
Execute.
But Parandul unplugs it before she has a chance.
The thing about that right there that irks the shit out of me is the fact that she pushes a button and immediately starts talking to Martian Manhunter.
Well, you don't know how many buttons she pushed before that.
No, she
And
walks into the thing and pushes a single button.
you know,
It was like,
that could
boop,
just be a
immediate.
redial. The
What?
last call was to Martian Manhunter because
Yeah,
they
but
were
how
setting
does
the
she
trap.
know that?
Maybe
What if
the
they-
spaceships are pretty standardized. Here's the thing.
I don't
It's
believe that.
very possible that the javelins were made using Thanagarian technology that was left behind after the invasion. It could be the exact same setup as the javelin.
I don't believe that.
I mean,
I believe that was poor writing, and they just wanted to have her get to it as fast as possible.
I mean, I thought that was a reasonable way to save time, and I can make headcanon that it's because the javelins are the same setup.
Well, you can try to make headcanon, but I won't believe it for shit.
Alright. Well, I thought that was reasonable.
Meh.
So, they fight in the cockpit,
Yes.
and
Vixen versus what's-her-face.
it doesn't go well for Vixen. So,
Oh, very
Hawkgirl
much doesn't.
is worried and decides to turn herself in. Vixen tries to stop her, even pulling his gun on her. But
Yeah, I love that moment.
Like, she just puts one arm on her waist and goes, "Really, you're gonna shoot me to protect me?"
Yeah. You're going to shoot me to protect me? I don't exactly... I don't really understand what's going on here, but yeah, sure.
And they do almost all of this in body language, too, which is
Yeah,
fantastic
this was a
animation.
body language episode.
The animation on this is so good. So, but she calls his bluff and flies away. As she goes, Vigilante says, "Vaya con Dios." Clearly impressed. Vaya
Does
con
he say
Dios
that?
means go with God. Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember him saying that at all.
It's like an old West-timey phrase that...
Yeah, I know what Vaya
You
con
know.
Dios is, but I don't remember him saying that.
So,
I gotta go look that up.
it's kind of cool. I couldn't catch what he said the first time, so I had to bring up the closed captions.
The only other thing I heard him say was when he was screaming to high holy hell about trying to fly the new ship.
We'll get to that later. So, as Hawkgirl goes and surrenders, doing the traditional Thanagarian surrender dance, she flies in a sort of
I'm sorry, what?
ritualized pattern. That's a callback to when Parandul uses herself as a stalking horse. So, that was kind of cool. Hawkgirl surrenders because they have Vixen. She drops her mace, and they drop Vixen. So, not a good trade. Let's say that.
Well, she said to drop it, you know.
Thankfully,
What
there's
more were
trade
you asking for, man?
Thankfully, Vigilante is working on the trade backs. Because he's trapped a soldier to find the location of the ship. In a pretty awesome moment of self-sufficiency. He gets the ship, and he can't fly it well, and he gives the greatest string of curse words ever.
Oh
Who
my
says you need to
god.
use actual curse words? I wrote it down because it was so awesome. Consarn, Dan busted, horse thieving, alien control panels which can't nobody work proper. It's just fantastic. Everything about that phrase is just amazing. When I'm angry next time, I just am going to repeat that verbatim.
You're just gonna start. How are you gonna goddamn remember all that?
I'll have to mumble like half of it. I'll remember like the horse thieving.
A horse thieving goddamn alien ship. Nobody can use.
Work.
See, I don't think it was based on the javelin. He had such a hard time using it.
Well, he didn't fly the javelin well either.
Yeah, but he was taught how to fly the javelin by Hawkgirl. Clearly explained to him how to do it.
Yeah, I think it was based on there because he knew how to fly it at all. And then he figured it out in such a short time that it's just only a little bit different.
Meh.
So, they fight with Vixen fighting Parandul in the ship, a rematch, and Hawkgirl fighting the rest in the sky. Vixen wins quickly. And we get a third beat in which Vigilante can't drive. It's kind of a nice 3-beat that we have first him in the javelin, and then him saving Vixen. And now we have this third beat here. It's a nice 3-beat of him not driving.
Yep.
So
having absolutely no idea how to do so and screaming his goddamn head off.
I wonder if they're purposely reversing the old stereotype of women can't drive. Like they're purposely turning it on their head as a joke.
Maybe it might have been because of what Vixen said in the beginning, and that men have fragile egos instead of like, the man was driving and the woman thing. I don't know. That might have been just reading too deep into it.
Yeah. So, Hawkgirl quickly dispatches the red shirt and then gets the real fight with the robot, Vanagarian. He puts up a good fight, and he's probably stronger in some senses than her.
I don't know. I really wouldn't say at all. She didn't even use her powers.
I would say she's the by far better fighter, but he's just physically imposing.
I don't know. I'd still say she's stronger. She didn't even use her powers.
Hawkgirl always finds a way. She sees the weakness on his suit, and she rips it off, leaving him powerless and crashing to the ground. That's why she was an elite. That's why the Scottish red shirt.
The Scottish red shirt.
Says that she has more training than the 7 of them put together.
It's adorable.
Yeah. It was kind of an awesome line. You really get the competence of Shaira here.
Right.
That you do not mess with Shaira Hall.
You also, in a way, got at the same time the
vulnerability.
The grouping and the kind of camaraderie of these Tamaranians. Tamagarians? Tambourinians?
Tamaranians are Starfire's people.
Oh, right, yeah.
So,
I'm just going to call them Tambourinians.
So, that'd be people who love tambourines.
Yeah, they're Tambourinians. Tambourinists?
Yes, so...
Racist towards the maracas.
So, Vigilante and others... Vigilante and Vixen offer her a ride back to the Watchtower. As the 3 of them get back, with Vigilante getting much-needed medical care.
After he was shot in the freaking leg.
Yeah. Green Lantern rushes to the 3 girls.
2.
Oh, sorry, the 2 girls.
And he holds out his arms.
I like how they make it unclear which one he was running into as well.
Right.
It's a kind of will they, won't they with Shaira, even though he's with Vixen.
Right.
It's nice. So, they walk straight past him saying, when do you want to do this? No time like the present.
Yeah.
The Green Lantern knows it's going to be bad for him. But while the tone implies that it's a fight, they're actually just drinking, not alcohol for some reason, and gossiping about Green Lantern.
Why would they drink alcohol? Like, seriously. Clearly it's the drink of plebs. You gotta drink, whatever orange juice they had at the moment or something.
In my head canon, they're mimosas.
They're mimosas.
Okay, so continuing on. Well, they have the orange juice. They discuss Green Lantern and laugh about how he loves Old Yeller and how organized his sock closet is, but it gets awkward when Hawkgirl points out that she has seen his sock drawer, which is probably the most explicit sexual reference in Justice League Unlimited. With her facial expression and everything, she is clearly saying, yes, we have had sex. There is no other way to interpret that scene.
Right. I'm sure it slipped past.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised that made it past WB and the censors.
Kids WB.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Well, no, I don't, because one, it's not directly explicitly saying. That was something for the parents.
Her facial expression is saying it.
What?
Her facial expression is making it very clear.
Not the kids. I don't think the kids would see it immediately.
Yeah, maybe. I think it's fine. I think that's fine in a kid's show, to be honest. That as long as you're not, being too explicit, I think it's fine. But
it's fine.
But that's bolder than most television shows go. So, they do that, and then Vixen compares Green Lantern to a bad book that she just has to get through. So,
you see, I don't see the same thing. I don't see that in. It's just her kind of hanging on to the love thing. Her hanging on to a relationship. I really see of more. It's she really liked Jon Stewart. Clearly sees there's something wrong, but just wants to try and see if she can make it work in the end.
That's a nicer. I hope you're right.
Well, I mean, one, this is a kid's show, so I'm pretty sure they wouldn't make that assumption.
I don't know. I thought... But
two...
Maybe I'm just sexist, because, two men fighting over a woman and setting up ground rules is a pretty classic story. That's something that happens all the time in fiction. But now that their two women are doing it, I think it's degrading to them. I mean, is it really any different?
Why? Why is it degrading to them?
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's not.
Oh, okay. Why did you say it like that, though? You made it sound like you thought it was degrading to them.
On some level, I do feel it's degrading, but I'm just saying, intellectually, I'm not sure it is. I think it's just that I have this latent sexism that women shouldn't be aggressive, or something like that. Which is something that I try not to act on, but it's there.
Okay, then. There's some
more
deep
feminist
inner
talk,
shit.
yay. Which is clearly what you come to all superhero shows for. That's how we got that triple-digit viewership.
Triple-digit viewership.
On episode...
Getting real subtle over there, man.
So, that was exciting. So, I don't know. It feels wrong to me, but it shouldn't. So, continuing on. So, our big question. Do you think the story really gives us the growth of the characters?
I really enjoyed the story because, one, from the start to the end, we could clearly see how much they've changed. One, we see a lot of the other characters looking at Hawkgirl in a new light.
Yeah.
We see Jon Stewart himself, and we understand a bit more of his problem. We see Vixen sort of dealing and how she deals with the problem. We see Vigilante and understand, his tonality and how he deals with a bit more of his I'd say it was kind of racism in a way, and how he's dealing with the anger building up from this crap and how he sees Hawkgirl. We see how Hawkgirl has grown, yada yada. We see how all these characters have changed, and it's crazy, and I love it.
I don't have too much to add. I just want to point out that this is a great companion piece to Wake the Dead, where we see Hawkgirl being forced to engage with the world by her conscience, and her just wishing to curl up in a ball and take some time to heal, but she can't bring herself to do it because of her conscience keeps pulling her to do good. And in the end, that's why she's a hero. Because even though she wants to run and hide, she does the right thing every time.
Right.
And she's self-sacrificing, and she's humble, and she has so many wonderful traits. And she's at the same time brave and strong and intelligent.
Right. I definitely feel like in this episode... Sorry, kind of like going back to what I was saying before.
Yeah, no.
This episode, each one of the characters definitely did have time to grow, but each one of them had an extreme personality trait that really showed how the other one dealt with it and how they grew. It definitely, each one of them played off of that extreme trait into understanding, into letting the viewer understand what direction they were going in clearly without really being too blatant or hard on it. I feel like that's really good storytelling. I don't know, I just appreciate it in such a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right. I think it's something worth appreciating.
I burped. Excuse me.
Well.
Love me.
Yes, so, now it's time...
What?
Now it's time to...
Oh, right, the
where
rankings.
it goes on the list.
Oh, God, I have to see which one of my children is my favorite.
Yes. And I really don't know where this is going to go, so you want to take the lead, Elliot?
I am looking. I definitely would rank this rather high. I think I would put it... I would put it underneath Initiation as number 5.
Okay. So...
Initiation keeps getting...
also,
being one of those things. What?
I was going to say, also we need to decide what we're going to call this episode, because it goes by... On Netflix, it's called Mystery in Space.
Right, but when they play it out...
Hunter's Moon.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's so weird.
I honestly think Mystery in Space is a better title, but I guess that can be confused with the Adam Strange story.
You know what you could do? You could do Mystery in Space, parentheses, Hunter's Moon.
I like that better.
Comma, Hunter's Moon. And or Hunter's Moon.
Okay.
I thought this episode had great character development. It had good action scenes. It had really... I mean, like, I barely even talked about the characters on the Tambourinian side.
Anagarian.
Yeah, those guys. The bird people. The Tambourinians were so good. The one person that was he was crippled, pretty much?
Yeah.
He had mental trauma. And he was such a sad character. He was like, I miss my commander. I miss thinking properly and not having my head hurt. And he was so sad. He was like, I hate Hawkgirl for what she did to us. Right? That's what it was. And he was so unsure of himself because he was so damaged.
Yeah.
It was really touching. And then when he beat up the other guy, the dwarfish looking red shirt, and the leader came over and helped him up. Like, you clearly could tell each one of them had such attachment to the other one. They all understood what they were doing here, but they were still a team, and they were a good team. And, like, even though we're never going to see these characters again, you still understood them. You felt them. It was so good.
Yeah, no, it was
but
very
the
good.
action wasn't as great, in my opinion.
The action was not great, no.
Yeah, it was a little lacking. There was a lot more in terms of plot and a lot of, kind of firefights going back and forth. It was all right.
Yeah. That's what separates it from an episode like Clash, I think.
Yeah.
Where it had this thoughtfulness and the character growth, but the action wasn't quite good enough.
Right.
To vault it into that tier.
Right, that's actually why I put it underneath Initiation, because I remember the great character growth, the great representation that we had in Initiation, as well as, the massive monster battle that you come to expect from superheroes. This is why Marvel is different from DC, not in the character sense, but in the fact that Marvel does people. Marvel shows off these crazy character stories, and we learn a lot from them, but DC does heroes. DC does the good guy fights the bad guy to the bitter end. It's a bit cliche, but it's what we've come to love, and it's why I love them too. Most definitely. So you had all of that represented in Initiation, and that's why it just couldn't beat it out.
All right. So I'm gonna
Where-
put.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. Yes. You
No, I was asking where you're going to put it, and you already did it, so there you go.
Right. So I'm gonna put it somewhere pretty similar.
Right.
I'm gonna put it beneath balance, which is just 2 spots lower than you have it. I think balance just developed the characters a little bit better, and the action was just a little stronger. It benefited from having a character less. And this was a great episode, but it definitely had weak points. Like, I felt like Vigilante and Vixen were kind of schizophrenic. Jumping in between, I guess I shouldn't use that. That might be ableist. But whatever.
Oh my god.
But
No, I understand that. That is definitely, what do you call it, a weakness of the storytelling technique that they used. And the fact that each one of them had an extreme personality, well, that doesn't cover every single bit of their personality, you know?
yeah.
That's why they did jump around a little bit, but it was all in all to express their point.
Yeah.
I like that.
Any last words, Elliot?
I'm right and you're wrong, and everyone can go fund me.
Okay.
I mean, I hope you all enjoyed our show. Keep watching and have a good time.
Yep. Stay beautiful.